we have seen the events, all the event. This is the last unit we are going to discuss. That is called AWT. AWT means Abstract Window Toolkit. Okay. We'll see what is Abstract Window Toolkit, how we are using this, and some components. How to use the components we will see with the examples. Okay. First we will see the theory about the AWT. Okay. Abstract Window Toolkit. So introduction to AWT. Are you getting my voice, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here AWT contains numerous classes and methods. It contains classes and methods that allow to create and manage the windows. By using the classes and methods, we are allowed to create and manage the windows. We are managing and creating the windows here. So this AWT effectively used to create applets are standalone GUI based applications. Like GUI applications means whatever you are doing with desktop applications like calculator, okay, VLC media player. So whatever the desktop application GUI you are able to view, that standalone GUI we can develop by using this AWT with the applets. So AWT is used by the for creating applets. Okay, by using the applets we can develop GUI based applications. Okay, AWT provides the Windows GUI controls, means like labels, buttons, list, text boxes, and all. Next, frames, layout managers, etc. Okay, so AWT provides the class to work with the text, graphics, colors, etc. Okay, AWT is the basic upon which swing is built. Okay, swings also will be there, but in our syllabus there is no swings. So applets the advanced concept is swings. At the introduction, when I was discussing with the Java, that time additions of Java, I discussed these things. Okay, applet swings and all. So the applets uses AWT to provide GUI. GUI means graphical user interfaces. Whatever we are able to view, so the presentation, so that is called a GUI. So by using applets, we can develop that. See, we have the hierarchy of AWT. So everything is a component here. The hierarchy of Java AWT classes are given. These are our classes. Okay. So object and component. The component having button component, label component, checkbox component, choice component, list component, then container. Then container component having window component, panel component. Panel contains applet component. The window contains frame and dialog box. Okay, so these are the components. Everything is a component. Button is also component. So because these are available in the component, right? The component contains button, label, checkbox, choice, list, container. This container having two types of windows and panel. The window having frames and dialog. The panel having applet. Okay, this is the hierarchy of AWT. Okay, these are the classes. So we'll see what class, what is the purpose of that class, we'll see here. So AWT classes, abstract window tool classes are contained in the java.awt.package. Which package? The AWT classes are available in which package? Java.awt package. Okay, it is the one of the Java largest package. Okay, it contains lot of classes, interfaces, and methods. Okay, it is logically organized in a top-down hierarchical fashion. It is logically organized in top-down and hierarchical fashion. We have seen already. So what are the classes available? Border layout. So what is the use of that border? The description we can see here. Border layout. The border layout manager. The border layouts use 5 components. Okay, north, south, east, west, and center. Border layout. So if you have one window, the borders. So north side, south side, east side, west side, and center we can draw the border. Okay, how much width size we can give? North side this much size, south side and east side, west side, and center. You can arrange the border. Okay. Next, class button. So that button, we can create a push button control. Okay. Canvas, a blank semantics free window. Card layout, the card layout manager. Card layouts emulate index cards only. One on top is showing. So these, if you are able to use that boxes and all GUI application, then you can understand. But just here, just know the theory about this. We will see the example, then you can understand what is button, what is border layout, what is canvas, what is card layout. In examples we can see. Okay, by using these classes we can make the application, GUI application here. Okay, next, checkbox. Checkbox, create the checkbox control, checkbox group. Then choice, create a pop-up list by using choice. Then color manages colors in the portable platform independent fashion. Next, component, an abstract superclass for various AWT components, like for button, card layout, for everything. The component is a abstract superclass for all components, as we have seen in the hierarchy of AWT. Then container, a subclass of component that can hold other components. File dialog creates a window from which a file can be selected. Next, to flow layout. The flow layout manager, flow layout positions components left to right and top to bottom. Next, to font sizing, encapsulates a type font. A standard window that has a title bar, resize, corners, and a menu bar. So for the frame, we can set the frame in this way. And graphics encapsulates the graphics context. This is the context is used by the various output methods to display output in a window. We can use the graphics also, graphics contents to display output in the window, the graphics thing. Next, grid bag constraints. So this grid bag constraints defines various constraints relating to the grid bag layout classes. Next, grid bag layout. The grid bag layout manager, what is doing? Grid bag layout displays the components subject to the constraints specified by the grid bag constraints. Grid layout, the grid layout. So here the grid layout is a manager, and the grid layout displays the components in the two-dimensional grid. Okay, image means encapsulates the graphical images. And label creates a label that display a string. Okay, list, this means creates a list from which the user can choose, though similar to the standard Windows list box. Menu, create a pull down menu. Menu bar creates a menu bar. Menu item creates a menu item. Panel, the simplest concrete subclass of container. And point means encapsulates a Cartesian coordinate pair stored in X and Y axis. Okay, polygon means encapsulates a polygon. Rectangle, so encapsulate a rectangle. Scroll bar creates a scroll bar control. Text area creates a multi-line edit control. Text field creates a single line edit control. Next, window, create window with no frame, no menu bar, and no title. Okay, by using window class. So those are the classes. So see the Windows fundamentals here. AWT defines Windows for graphical user interface. So windows are derived from first one panel and second one frame. Panel used by applets, and frame creates the standard application window. So creates a standard window applications. So component contain container. Container contains window and panel. That window contains frame. Class hierarchy of the panel frame. This is the class hierarchy. So component here means what? Top of AWT hierarchy. And abstract class. This component is the abstract class that has all attributes of visible component. and it defines several methods for handling the events. So responsible for remembering the current foreground and background colors, currently selected text font. The GUI tools expects menus are subclass of component. These are the subclasses. Next, container. Container is what? It is the subclass of component and allows the component objects to nested with it, and the other container objects stored inside of a container, and it is responsible for laying out any components that is contains using layout manager. So panel, it is a subclass of container. It simply implements container. It is a superclass applied. A panel is a window that does not contain a title bar and menu bar or border. So if you remember that the AWT hierarchy, then you can explain these all the components easily. So each component, what is what, and what is the use of it. Here panel is a subclass of container. It is responsible for layout of any component that is contains using layout manager. Next, panel, it is a subclass of container. It simply implements the container. It is a superclass update. A panel is a window that doesn't contain title bar, menu bar, and border. Okay. Next, frame. It is a subclass of window. It has the title bar, menu bar, border, resizing corners. Next, canvas. It is a blank window upon which we can draw. It is not the part of the hierarchy. So working with the frame windows, a frame allows to create window used for standalone applications like calculator, Word file, etc. Allow to create child windows in applets. The constructs are frame parameters. Frame constructor is creates a standard window without title. Frame parameterized constructor create a window with specific title. The methods defined in the frame class are set size. Here it is the set size is used to set the dimensions of the window. Like the methods are wide set size, two parameters into width into height. Wide set size, dimension size. Okay. Width, height are specified in pixels. Dimension get size returns the current size of the window contained in the width and height fields of the dimensions. So set visible. The once the window frame is created, it will not be visible directly until past the set visible. So set visible must be true if you want to see the geo application. So what is the method? We already seen this one in event handling. So wide set visible boolean flag. That means boolean value either true or false. Flag true means frame visible. Flag false means frame is hidden. So set title, you can set the title also. To change our title or set the title of the frame window, wide set title, string title. Okay. To close the window, set visible false, called in the close event. Next, this is the example here. So import java.awt.star. So that means we are importing Java AWT package. Here one of the example class myFrame is the class name. So myFrame is class name. Extends frame. We are extending the frame here. So here is the constructor myFrame. We are passing the string title. So super of title. Next, after the constructor, after this myFrame class, we have another class called frame demo. So it contains the main method. Here we are creating object for myFrame. MyFrame f equal to new myFrame, and we are passing the title means string value. So therefore that we are setting the size 300 width and 400 height. Okay. So this extends the frame means defaultly the method we should implement, that is called public void paint. paint method that contains the object graphics. So G, so in the G we have the drawstring method. So we should use it here. And set visible to is must here to want to, if you want to see the GUI. Okay, then other way you can set the title in this way also. F dot means the reference my frame, F dot set title. By using set title method we can set the title. So that is the application. Next to control fundamentals. Okay, control fundamentals having in AWT, controls are components that allow a user to interact with the application. A layout manager automatically positions components within a container. Uh, Appearance of window is combination of controls and the layout manager used. So here AWT supports the following controls. So what are the controls? We have seen already the labels, buttons, next checkbox, checkbox group, choice list, scroll box, text area, and layout manager. Adding controls, having add method of component class is used to add the controls to the window. The component add component object, here obj object means component instance of the component, that is instance of control. So removing controls, how to remove the controls? Remove method, we have remove method of container class is used to remove a control from the window if no longer needed. So void remove method and component reference. So here object is instance of control to remove. So void remove all, if you want to remove all the controllers you can use remove all method, use it to remove all controls on the window. So most of the controls in AWT can throw headless exception if non-iterative application is used. Here responding to controls is possible by using event handling mechanism that we have discussed already. So the AWT controls are first one label. So each and every controller we will see here with the theory and example. So labels, here a label is an object of type label class. We having a label class. So inside the label we are writing the text that we can see in the GUI application. So a label is an object type label class. A label contains a string to display. Okay, string data we are writing inside the label. Label are passive controls. Passive controls have no interaction with the user. It just it's like a graph. We can see the text like a text only. So we are not that labels are not interacting with the users. Okay, end users. Okay, just it's giving the information. String message we can display with the labels. Okay, we cannot interact perform the operations. Okay, next label. Label is empty label and string label and one parameter string with the two parameters string str and into size you can give. So these are the constructor, label constructor. Label means default constructor, label parameter is constructor with one, and label two parameter is constructor. So string value and int value. Here string means string to be displayed, and how means the alignment of the label. Label alignment like label left side or label right side and label center. Okay, we can arrange the label in this way, left, right and center. So the method defines are what are the methods available in this. So those are wide set text. If you want to set the text to that label, we should use the set text method. We can pass the string value, okay, to specify the label. Next string get text means if you want to get the label string. So if you want to obtain the label value, then we can get a text. Okay, wide set alignment. So we having one parameter int. So to set the alignment of the label, int get alignment. So it returns the alignment used for the label. Aligned we can get here. So in init method of the applet or the controller of the frame. So we have the example here. We are creating label object for the label class. Label L1 equal to new label. So L1 dot set label. So we are giving string CSE. That means in the label we can see the CSE, that the string, and the label L2. We are creating another label L2 that having string VCE, and label L3. Then it contains string name and the label side, means the parameters we have given. That means left side or right side we can arrange the label position, and we are adding add L1, add L2, add L3. We are adding for the pen. So by default, in no layout manager is used. AWT uses default layout manager, which places from top left corner onwards. Okay. Next one, the buttons. So a push down button is a component. So for example, already you know about the buttons, so submit button, login button. So if it is in the button, we can set the label. Within the label we can put some string value, so that is called submit here. So a push down button is a component that contains a label, generates an event when it is pressed. Okay, there are object of type button class. So you have a button class. The constructors are button default constructor, and without the arguments, with the arguments the button only one string argument we can pass, label button. Okay, next the methods define or so what are the methods available for button class? So that is set label and get label. Set label for setting the string value to the label. We having set label and we are passing string str string value. String get label. If you want to obtain the label value, then we can use string get label method. So here's str means what is the label for the button, and each time a button is pressed, an action event is generated. So action event having action listener. So action listener having which methods? Action performed method or get action command. Okay, so here we have a button object. We are creating one button object, button b1 equal to new button, then button b equal to new button of the value. Button name you are giving. So button name is what? Yes. So the button contains yes. If you press the button, so it is going to perform some action. Okay, so add b1 and add b2. Buttons are adding to the field. Next, checkbox. A checkbox control is used to turn on option on or off, on off. So like you have you can see here CSC checkbox here. Click here on the CSC is a checkbox. So that means what? If you click on this, selecting and clicking means, so that is in on. So if you are unselecting that, that is in off mode. So it contains a small box that can either contains a checkbox mark or not. A label with each checkbox tells what option it represents. To change the states, click on the box. Checkbox can be used in the group or individual also. So that checkboxes are objects of checkbox class. The constructors are here for the checkbox. Checkbox only the constructor without argument, checkbox with the one argument, checkbox with the two arguments, and checkbox with the three arguments, and checkbox with the three arguments. See the checkbox one argument means string type. Checkbox two arguments mean one is a string and second one is boolean type, true or false. Then checkbox contains three arguments: string value, boolean value, and checkbox group value. And checkbox string value, checkbox group value, and boolean value. We can pass these type of arguments for the checkbox constructor. If on is true, then the checkbox is initially checked. If is null, if the checkbox is not belongs to the group. So the methods defined are boolean get state, void set state, string get label, void set label, then item event here, item event having item listener. So that listener having means here interface. The item listener interface having item state changed. Here checkbox C1 equal to new checkbox, and we are giving the parameters string value and boolean value true. That means it is on. So we are clicking on the ECE. Box having box C group, for example, Facebook, whatever Gmail. So there you have the gender, male or female. So that checkbox group we can create here by using checkbox group. So if you, there is a two radio buttons. So which one want to select? You can select it. Okay, checkbox we can select it, male or female. So there is a checkbox like rectangle. It is symbol is rectangle symbol for checkbox. A set of mutually exclusive checkboxes in which only one checkbox in the group can be checked at a time, called radio buttons. Okay, one radio, only one channel selected. One radio button means one channel has selected. So radio button means it is in circular position. Okay, it is like a symbol like circle. So a checkbox group is created by using the class checkbox group class object. That constructor is checkbox group. The methods defined are checkbox get selected checkbox. So that this is the method and it returns the selected checkbox in group. Next method is white set selected checkbox. This is set. See how the code we can write here means item event, and that is that having the item listener. So this listener having item state changed method. Okay. Here we are creating the object for checkbox group. Checkbox group G equal to new checkbox group, and checkbox having C1 equal to new checkbox male, then parameter. Next checkbox CT equal to new checkbox female, then G. Means we are giving the checkbox group reference here. Male comma G means G is what? Checkbox group reference. So next one is text field. Here text field means you know already text boxes. Okay, in that way for your geo applications also we have text field. So there we can write the string values. You can see this image. Okay, hello message. So single line text area is created by using object of the class text field, so called editor control. So editor control means text field. Next it is used to enter and edit the text. We can, how we can use it, we can enter the text or we can edit the text. What are the constructors we have in the text field? Text field without parameter, text field with one parameter, that is int parameter, and text field with one parameter, that is string parameter, text field with two parameters, that is string value and int values. So text field only without parameter means that is default. So text field int parameters means number of character wise. Next string means here to keep initial text in the field. What are the methods available for this? So the methods defined are string get text and set text. Get text means return the string currently contained in the text field. What is the text available in the the text box? Though the text we can get it. So by using set text method, we can pass the string value, means we can set the text to the text box to set or assign the text in the text field. So string get selected text means it returns the string selected in the text field, and void select method that contains two parameters int start and int end, means it selects the text from start to end. Void set editable. That is a method that contains boolean flag value, means boolean value. If a flag is true, then allows to the change text. Next to boolean is editable. We can check whether the textable is editable or not. So returns if the text is changed in the text field. Next set enco char means used to passwords. See character is which char is for encode. So, like example, T1 dot set encode char means characteristic we can give symbol. So char get encode char means it returns the char used for the encoding. Next, so this is the code for writing the text field. So action event, action listener contains the action performed method. So in that method we can write this text field t1 equal to new text field of we are giving message text field within the text field we can see the message like hi. So t1 dot set and char t and set text, you can set the text hello. Next text field, text event, text listener, text change. These are the flow. Area means text field means only in the simple single box. But text area means, for example, text field we can enter only one text like username, password, and all. Here text area means we can write the address. Address contains number of words and characters, right? So that we can write. That means it contains the rows and columns. Okay. Here the text area is used to edit multiple lines called multi-line editor. The constructor or text area default constructor text area with two parameters, text area one parameter. Text area two parameters means into parameters, into no lines and into no characters. Text area that contains the string value. Text area constructor having string value, into value, and into value means string str into no lines and into no characters. Text area string value, into value, and into value means string. You can pass the string value and into no lines and into no char value and into s bars. Okay, 4 int values. Here no lines means number of rows, no characters means number of characters in the rows means width to size. Next with height width. Next string value, initial text, and the s bar is the scroll bar. So value can be the scroll bar value can be, we can write like this: scroll bars both, scroll bars none, scroll bars vertical only, scroll bars horizontal only. We can arrange that scroll bar also in different ways. Next, the methods defined are get text, set text, get selected text, select is editable and set editable. So same as the text field class. So wide append method we have, wide insert method we have. Wide append method means appends the specified string at the end, and wide insert means contains the two parameters, that is string and into index. So here insert method is used to insert the string at the specified index. The how we can write that means text area t1 equal to new text area object created, text area t equal to new text to here the text area size also we can give width height 10 15. The text area text event the text listener having text changed method. So next choice control. So this choice control is used to create the pop-up list of the items from which the user can select. So each item in the list is a string. The class choice is used to create the control. An item is added to the list by using add method. So void add is string value, default constructor choice. So the method defined are, what are the methods we have? String get selected item, int get selected index, int get item count. Int get the selected item means it returns the select item from the list, and get selected index means it returns the index of selected item, means starts from 0. Next int get item count means it returns the number of items in the list. Next string get item int index, void select int index, void select. So string name. So item event, item listener, item state change the method. So here choice C1 equal to new choice C1 dot add of CSE C1 dot add of ECE. We can add the string values for the choice. Next, list control. The list class is used to create list control. It is a component and it compact and multiple choice scrolling selection of the list. Here the constructors are a list default constructor, list parameter is constructor with one parameter, list two parameters. So the constructor list parameter into number of rows, list the constructor list having into number of rows and boolean flag value. So it means it flag is to allow to select the multiple items, otherwise it's not allowed. So to add the selection to the list, add method is used. So add methods are void add method, that's string value, void add method with string and int index values. So methods are get item count, select, int index, get item. So list L1 equal to new list, index 5 comma true, ls1 dot means reference dot add of CSE, ECE and EEE with the EEE index is 1 and count is ls1 dot get item count. Need to write the code. So here the flow is list action event and action listener is used. Okay, the method is action performed. From the list item event, item listener, item state changed. So okay, till now enough for this class. Okay, so in the tomorrow session we will see the next components. Okay, next classes, scroll bar and all. Okay, just to see the theory, this is all about the theory. If you see the GUI application, you can understand. First you need to understand the code here for whatever it is, whatever the label, whatever the classes are for each component, you need to create the object, and by using the classes methods you can perform actions. Okay, either button, label, checkbox, whatever, scroll bar, text area, whatever it is. Okay, so in the tomorrow session we will see next these all the topics. Okay, I will show the examples also. Till here you need to read once.